Hello guys, and welcome back once again to the Asian channel. And today we are going to talk about, as Ukraine is starting to receive the tank pledges from NATO, Russian president vows to have 3 times more modern tank than Ukraine. Ukraine expects to receive at least 440 tanks from NATO member state. This is a mix of Challenger 2, Leopard 2, and Abram 1. Just this month, Ukraine has already finished crew training and received their first batch of German Leopard tanks. Meanwhile, Russia vowed to have 1,600 modern new T90M tanks this year. The T90M is the most modern tank in service in the Russian army. They plan to achieve this number by producing new batch of T90M and upgrade their current 350 T90 tanks into T90M variant. In 2021, Russia produces an average of 350 tanks per year. The tanks produced are mostly for current war operation, and foreign export were also halted to divert those tanks for domestic use. Currently, Uralvagonzavod is the only Russian tank-making facility, and the facility is being expanded. They've hired new workers to keep up overtime and keep the factory working 24/7. Achieving 1,600 tanks produced in a year would be a new milestone for the Russian military-industrial complex. During the best days of USSR, the Soviet Union could produce 4,000 tanks in 1 year, and they have 4 tanks factories capable of producing tanks. Now, Uralvagonzavod is the only facility that produces tank in the Russian Federation. Russia has announced that they are constructing 2 new tank factories. One facility would have a plant area of 250,000 square meters, and these facilities would be mostly used for modernization, repair, and maintenance of Russian tanks, while Uralvagonzavod will be fully engaged in the production of new units. Also, during time of war, it is understandable that both sides would emerge in propaganda against each other. During the initial stage of the war, Western media has heavily reported that sanctions is hurting Russian capacity to produce tank, and they're running low on tanks, ammunition, etc. And it's only a matter of time until they run out of weapon to fight. But based on my personal research, although it's true that Russia was running low on supply after a few months during war, but it was mostly due to Russian peacetime military production capacity couldn't cope up with the amount of weapon being used on the battlefield. It takes time and years before production could expand. This is evident to most countries during World War II. More than a year of war, it seems that Russian production is slowly keeping up with its war effort. I personally thought sanctions did hurt Russia, but it didn't totally stop them because 80% of the T-90's parts are from Russia. Raw materials like steel, composite, and engines. Some high-tech parts are also made in Russia, such as ballistic computer, thermal imaging, wind sensors, control panel, and a multi-function indicator interface. Although many components of these high-tech parts on the inside are sourced to foreign companies, like microwave chips, BIS controllers, processors, and microchips from Xilinx and Altera, but they could easily find other substitute to this parts from high-tech companies in China. So sanctions to deny Russia with high-tech Western-made components initially hurt them, but there are a few worked around against it. Also, Russian engineers were able to make some equivalent as substitute. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you want more topics like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you soon.